Hello and welcome to the Alternative Bakery 26, a bakery-based business in the Portsmouth area. We discuss everything food related, from testing and trialling recipes to discussing the various food related topics and testing new products on the market. So what are you waiting for? If you're a massive foodie, then this is the channel you will want to subscribe to. We will be looking today at a brand new article from The Caterer. It's called Eating Better Alliance, Publisher's Guide to Buying Sustainable Meat and Dairy. As you know, it's been a massive concern for lots of industries that the greenhouse gas emissions are increasing, and we're in a situation where global warming and the crisis to do with the planet heating up will make living anywhere within the southern hemisphere to be almost impossible by 2050. One of the main strategies to avoid this is by cutting down meat and dairy produce. But the challenge of doing that is you effectively cancel the ability for many farmers, anyone whose living is directly related to that, any suppliers, cheese producers, milk producers, yogurts, any byproducts of those animals also ends up suffering as a result. Of course, it's well known that beef, cows produce quite a lot of methane, and that contributes to a significant increase in that. Much so also within the production process, it uses a lot of water. So famously, you think of things like burgers, and actually one of the biggest contributors is actually it uses a lot of water just to produce the product in the first place. So this article, just to give it credit to the original author, this was on the 19th of February 2021, so it was only a few days ago, and this was by Catherine Price. The Eating Better Alliance has produced an 8-step guide to help restaurants source more sustainable meat and dairy. The Sourcing Better guide offers a vision of farming that considers climate, nature, and the health and welfare of farm animals, as well as profitability for farmers. It suggests a 3-step process to better procurement, linked to 8 key areas, including the way animals are reared and fed, limiting the use of antibiotics, tackling greenhouse gas emissions and nature loss, minimizing pollution, water scarcity and runoff, and improving soil health. The goal is to move beyond the current baseline and standard certifications to a system that favours the highest animal welfare and the lowest impact on the environment. Simon Billing, Executive Director at Eating Better, said, "We're calling for transformational change for all meat sold, while recognising the challenges this presents to the retail and food service industries. While these sectors are rightly focused on ensuring the country is fed during lockdown, when we are over the worst, we need to look at the issues and concerns around meat production as a whole and the impact it has on the planet. Our aim is to support retailers and restaurants on the journey to sourcing better, and this guide is the first step to achieving that, and ultimately to making climate and nature-friendly meat available and affordable to all." The Sourcing Better guide is aligned with Eating Better's Better by Half roadmap and long-term vision to stimulate a 50% reduction in meat and dairy consumption in the UK by 2030, and a transition to better production as standard. The Eating Better Alliance is made up of organisations including the Sustainable Restaurant Association, Food Foundation, Soil Association, WWF UK, Vegetarian Society, Royal Academy of Culinary Arts, Royal Society for Public Health, Greenpeace, and Friends of the Earth. From my perspective as a hospitality student, I'm in my final year. I think this is actually quite a good thing, because if you look at some of the more extreme versions, such as the Vegan Society, some other aspects, I think you've got industries and support charity groups like PETA, which are calling for a diminish to meat production in general. That's fine if you want to just kill the livelihoods of most farmers. We in the UK rely heavily on our farmers for our food production. Yes, we have relied in the past mostly from the European Union, but as Brexit has gone through, there are certain challenges to that, and we do have to look at supporting ourselves a little bit more, much from the point of, simple things like certain things to get through border control have to be checked, and they do take potentially a couple days more, and certain items as well. You look at short life produce such as lettuce, tomatoes, things that go off very easily, means that we're in a situation where we might not be able to rely on the European Union, so we actually need our farmers to step step up, but in the same time we also need to provide them with the support they need to keep their businesses viable. By using this technique, what we're doing is slowly reducing the over-reliance on farmers to produce meat and actually giving them a second opportunity to produce vegetarian products as well, and just vegetables in general, which will help to surplus the market and divide between, the interest in producing meat to a more balanced society. It also means that they're not cut off from profitability immediately. They can go to a section and a demand for the market that becomes vegetarian or vegan, but it can be done over time. It doesn't have to happen where their feet are dragged from under the carpet. They don't have to feel they're in a situation much like what's happening with the seafood markets at the moment, where some of these coastal cities are really, really damaged by the inability to sell their produce to the EU. And I think personally this is the best way to go about it. You avoid causing mass chaos on a grand scheme, because if this is happening here, guaranteed this will be happening in other countries as well. Mostly, I would imagine the EU is very, very concerned about this. There just needs to be a bigger balance to the situation. So, question of the day: what are you doing about your meat consumption, and how do you think that you can best support farmers in this difficult transition between going from an all meat produce farm to a more sustainable version? As always, leave those comments down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more content.